Alto surprised me by destroying some boulders that were blocking the path by the waterfall. But as we were crossing the bridge, Caldina showed up and destroyed it, knocking us out and dropping us into the water. We washed up in a dark and damp cave behind the waterfall. Alcyone and Caldina showed up again and babbled some gobbledygook. Then Caldina blew up the bridge. She's really getting on my nerves.
Caldina destroyed a bridge we were standing on, spilling us into the water. We all woke up in a hidden cave behind the waterfall. I think the cave might lead to the other side of the pass anyway. I believe we should go forward.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Magic Knight Rayearth. Last time, right at the end, crossing the bridge, we got double-teamed by Alcyone and Caldina. Things are not looking good here. Clef, you got anything to say? Yeah. I think we found it, Clef. Some of his advice kind of shows up in weird areas, but yeah, here's the passage, which if you saw right at the very end of the last video you were able to see because it was slightly darker over the waterfall. But this leads us to our next dungeon. Say hello to the secret cave, secret passage. It's not a very well-named cave, to be honest. But, well, what it makes up for, really, is that it's, a puzzle-based dungeon. And it's kind of, shall I say, a little bit more smart than overall. It's got a lot of block-pushing puzzles, sure, but it kind of does a little bit more in terms of advancing how difficult they actually are. Now, over here, you kind of see a mess of just, like, stray pixels. I'm not sure what exactly it's supposed to be, but don't touch it, because it'll hurt. But when you get these kind of things where you're not able to get right next to the button in order to hold it down, that's when things get a little bit more difficult to deal with. And I could push Shikara right into the spikes, or the thing if I wanted to, because I'm not entirely sure what it is. There we go. See ya, Foo. Eat it! Now, there's going to be a couple of these signs here saying treasure ahead, and when you kind of see this, there's some good treasure ahead, and you should do it. It's actually optional to do it, and you can come back in order to do it. In fact, we're going to be doing that a little bit later, but it's going to be a little bit. This is probably the hardest block pushing puzzle in this dungeon, because it requires about maybe 10 steps in order to actually do properly. Push this down a tiny bit. There we go. Because of course we're dealing with pretty much a central pit of stuff, and now we're one block short because we can't actually pull back blocks. So what are we gonna do about that? Should be able to actually... Maybe move this up. So what I want to do is actually get that orb up here. So I guess, actually, what I could do is actually bring this down and around. I might need to push that down a little bit more. Just like one little push. There we go. So what I want to do is actually push this down and squish Foo! Haha! Wonderful. So I need to bring this back around. Push that there. But also have it around so that I'm still able to push it even though it's over there. That should be good. Push that down a little bit more. Now push it up. Push it up! Ah! You just need to push it once. There we go. And then push that into the pit. And then I should be able to push it there. And completely just do that. There we go. Okay. It's a little bit roundabout, but your reward is worth it. Inside the chest is a yellow rainbow amulet. And in the other one is a magic jewel. Not sure who am I gonna give this to. Let's give it to Umi. She's a little bit behind. In fact, she's a whole level behind, and we haven't even gotten any upgrades. So, yeah, Umi is gonna get a little bit more love in terms of this place. If you feel like you've done it wrong, though, it does reset. So don't feel like you've completely ruined your chances about doing this puzzle. Because, you know, there's more you actually have to do. Some of them are not that bad either. They just require a little bit of thought to them. Now these kind of puzzles I do like a lot. You see we have a crumbling block here, and if we destroy it, we can go on the switch, but it's the kind of switch that if you get off of it, it depresses. So, push the crumbled block over the switch, get across the door, destroy the block. Hey! It's one of these kinds of puzzles. I'm a sucker for like a good, simple, but clever puzzle. Especially puzzles that actually use one of the characters a little bit more, because out of all the characters, the only one who was able to break that crumbling block right there was Umi, because her reach with her level 3 sword is pretty great. And actually, it looks actually a little bit more improved. I never noticed that before. It's pretty great. This one's very simple to do. All you need to do is pretty much take advantage of the middle in terms of being able to push blocks from all angles. Because if you don't do that, then you're kind of screwed. There we go. Onward and hopefully upward. There are enemies every now and again. In fact, let's get rid of them right now! Up you go, down you go. Wow. See, this is what I should have been doing a long time ago. Because now Umi is pretty much just supercharged in terms of her attacks now, since she's level 3. Her reach is stupid. However, then you get to these kind of puzzles. They're not all that fun. Here's our new enemy, this dinosaur kind of skeleton. The thing is, he's necessary to actually do this puzzle well. These puzzles I don't really like all that much, even though they're clever, because you have to actually collapse his skeleton onto the switch in order to continue on. But you kind of notice he packs a punch. So if you are not really good at that, you could lose a party member here. And it's not good to lose a party member here, because all of them are necessary. And it's good that that is the case. Then you have these mantis enemies here, which, well, you're doing the same kind of idea here, getting him to stand on a switch. Get over, please. I'm gonna have to coax him. Hey, man! No. He's gonna be no fun to deal with, is he? Hey! Get over on the switch, please. Oh, you're not gonna be fun, are you? I wonder if I could try something different. Hey, there we go, and switch. Not how you're supposed to do that puzzle, but it actually was a lot simpler. 2 paths here. You got a whole lot of muck over here, but the same kind of sign saying that there's treasure ahead. You can't do anything with this one because even with a running start, there's so much in order to traverse. So even a running start is not going to be able to get you over there. So it's going to be a little bit. Flaming balls, huh? Opening the door will show you that, hey, there's a little passage over here. And you can just follow the flaming balls all the way around to the now open door. Then there's these puzzles I hate. The ones where it's like you need to know what the next room is in order to actually do anything. It's these shell crab enemies fracked from the Tree of Life, but if you remember, you're not able to actually damage them from just regular hits, except for food. You gotta use that to your advantage in order to actually do some damage, or actually get through the next room. Now it's time to combine the two, and see actually this animation of the dinosaur. It's not that bad, actually. First thing you gotta do is that, well, it's easy to get the dinosaur over to his switch. The mantis, on the other hand, is a little bit more annoying. And you need him on the switch this time. There we go. I don't want him getting off. It's kind of this... In terms of this dungeon, I like it a lot because it requires a lot more thought. In fact, Clef might actually say... nothing! Good! Gee... Oh my goodness, Clef, you are not helpful at all. This room, however, is featureless. You only have a closed door around you, so what can you do? What's... There must be something. Huh? Hello? Okay, we're getting tapped by something, so this is where food comes into handy. Say hello to invisible spiders. Yeah, they decided to do something like that. And then more balls. More balls for the taking. It's not a great room, especially when you just have to hit the switch and keep going. But it's at this point where I almost lost Umi. And if that was the case, I wouldn't be able to complete this room. Which is kind of a shame. Luckily, we went to the Rainbow Junction shop and got the escape gem, so it's not that bad. It does require a little bit of backtracking, but kind of wish it was a little bit better. Clef has a bunch of things to say here, so I might have missed one or two different messages, but that's okay. It's pretty much... He's pretty much esoteric about his stuff. It's just like, use your mind. Things are not what they seem. Blah, 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 blah. Also, use magic, which is exactly what we have to do here. I did not have to use the level 2 magic. Actually, it didn't do anything. Wow, that sucks, actually. Using the regular fire arrow, though, it lights that torch, opening this door but closing this one. So what do we do with fire? Extinguish it. And now we can move on our way. Everything is being used in this dungeon, really, which is kind of a shame that it wasn't that way in the Tree of Life. Because, I don't know if you could tell, but, well, the Tree of Life, other than its verticality and using the different floors in order to get to different places, didn't have a lot else going for it. But now we have this mantis creatures that we can actually get to. They're pretty easy to deal with, to be honest. And if you notice, they drop gems. This is pretty much going to be your first instance of being able to grind for a certain amount of gems. I might actually just do that in order to get the 500 for that heart jewel from the store in Leary. But before we do that, it's mirror time. Now, who could this possibly be for? I couldn't really say at this point. Maybe it's Fu. No, it is Umi. Jeez, and she just got her second in the Bewildering Cave. She was the last one to get her second, and now she's the first to get her final spell. Ice arrows. We get Alcyon's spell, and we're actually... It's pretty good. We'll be using that eventually. In kind of a poor way, though. But yeah, now we have everything for Umi. She's the most far along out of all the characters. Fu's alright, but geez, we haven't gotten Haru anything for the last little while. Yes, this maze. In order to deal with these green enemies, because that's the kind of things with these enemies, they don't really have a good name for them. But you can kind of see that they like defending themselves. Fantastic. I am so smart. I need to use this health potion now. Health potions not only restore everyone to maximum, but they also revive party members. That's my bro. That blew. So now I'm gonna destroy this enemy with Umi. It blocks your first strike with its big shield arm, but after that, if you're just quick on attacking more and more, then you're able to just get rid of these enemies no problem. And from what I understand, all of these guys drop 10 gems. Like, without fail, they don't drop anything else. There we go. You gotta be a little bit quick. Boom. Jeez, I might just do that for a little bit. In fact, I will. I'll see you a little bit later. We're gonna go into the... well, I would say we go into the right door, but that kind of progresses a little bit more. So let's go back into the door we know is safe and we actually know what's gonna happen in it. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of gem getting. Okay, 600 is pretty much a good place for me because I don't want to be rich for this. And then again, not a lot of places really are going to be using stuff. There we go. Go. Yeah, that's a healthy amount. Now let's open up and continue on. Not that way. Sometimes it is a little bit of a tiny maze. It is a tiny maze, but it's not supposed to be that. There is a sign up here that you can read, which is going to help you with this room, saying that it can be defeated. Scorpio pretty much being those green monsters, the mantis kind of things. Only kind of time when you actually see a monster name, to be honest. Time for ice arrows. They charge immediately for you, and if you don't have ice arrows equipped and you immediately use it, you're gonna be screwed. Because that's the only thing that the dinosaur skeletons are susceptible to, is that. This room, however, is just a place for Fu to just have fun, really. This is just charged arrow playhouse, really. Bingo. Run! There's lasers! Jeez, the first time I got here it was unscathed, but oh well. Alright. Free room, and inside is a magic potion. Finally, we can have one of those for our inventory. And now we get to kind of a conspicuous room, really. Invisible maze. Fu's kind of helpful here in terms of finding out which are walls and which are not, simply because of the, well, her charged arrow attack. If there's nothing to really attack, it just kind of spreads out. Excuse me? I jumped enough. So, in the end, it's not that bad. This room, however, is more annoying. Simply because, we got our health potion back, which is really great. But the problem with these laser BMOS kind of enemies is, when they're charged up, they have a way larger hitbox in terms of actually just kind of getting hit by these things. They're super annoying, though. This room's also kind of cool, to be honest. It's just pretty much revealing invisible platforms. The weird thing about that enemy over there, is that there's no platforms in that area. At least not to my knowledge. I haven't tried actually jumping off the side like a maniac. Maybe I should. Geronimo! There is a platform down there. Hey, there are! Okay, never mind. The map I was looking at when I was first playing this game is wrong. Good. I am terrible. Hooray for me. There is a chest up here, though. An indigo rainbow amulet. Super handy. That gives us 4. Our inventory's shaping up to actually look like something. Clef, anything different? Yup. Exactly what I thought you were going to say. Now, our destination, because there's more than one in these rooms, is going to be this room up here. But I do want to get rid of these individuals first, because up here is another chest with an orange rainbow amulet. Jeez, what does that give us? Jeez, we're almost, there's 3 away from 5 sets. And sometimes jumping is... She's dead. Oh. Well, I got rid of the other one. Oh my god. There we go. Healing wind, please. Who needs it? And we're also at the point where our magic is, or our health is so big that it doesn't actually heal us all the way. Get off my turf. Gee, good lord, okay. Door over there, we have a skeleton. We have a switch that is hidden. We don't want to deal with the skeleton. I said we don't. Just go over there and crumble and shambles. Be sad. This room we could go past, but we have so many crumbling blocks. Which includes a heart gem. Heart jewel. Gem, jewel, crystal. I'm a fool. Umi needs it more than anybody. I guess Fu did. Never mind. She gets hit enough, though. Now we have this wide open room with more invisible stuff. As much as I would like to use, like, screen encompassing magic, actually, you know what? Screw it. Yeah! Oh, that's very satisfying, actually. Fantastic. Umi, you want to do that again? Oh, I got one. Where'd he go? There he is! He didn't give me enough in order to do it again, did he? Nope. Oh, I do! There's nothing in sight, though. Okay. Never mind that. Let's see what the homing arrows can find. Can we just go straight through? The reason is that that door is so dark, sometimes I don't know if it's actually, well, open. But there is a healing fountain here, so I shouldn't worry about magic. So, with a healing fountain right here, I guess it's time for a fight. This dungeon was really fun. I like it a lot in terms of being just like a great mix of everything, using everybody's strengths. So with that, Let's head forward. Hikaru in the lead. Huh. Alright. At least we're not finding Alcyone again. We don't need that. It wasn't really that bad. There was only block pushing. You didn't really survey the area that much. And if you didn't realize right now, yeah. Alto here is Ascot. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. The way they actually do this kind of change of heart for Ascot in this game is a little bit bittersweet. However, there's one thing I do want to talk about with this kind of conversation here, because it's, well, it's a little bit dry and kind of hackneyed, is that really it's more the relationship between Caldina and Ascot. We didn't get a lot of it during the game. A little bit anyways, in terms of like cutscenes and whatnot with the Zagat's castle and everything. But pretty much what Caldina is trying to do is cover Ascot's butt, making sure he doesn't get killed. And also saving her butt as well by trying to keep both of them alive. Because in terms of the show, Caldina and Ascot kind of have a brother-sister relationship, even though they're not directly brother and sister. Especially when they talk for both themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying 5 things to my fingers. Yeah, I think they kind of go a little bit further and just kind of go, yes, they are brother and sister, even though they really don't look it that much. Because in terms of the history of Caldina, her character, she does not originate from Saphira. She comes from a different place entirely. That's why she has, well, the slightly different accent, and also her, well, slightly different skin color. This is kind of thrown for a loop as well, and I think it's just with this version of the game, where even the girls throw Ascot under the bus. I don't think anywhere else they really actually do this kind of direction. Umi and Fu both doubt Ascot. Which is kind of turns the heroes on their head a little bit. Expecting the best of everybody? Yeah, they don't do that with Ascot here. Except for Hikaru, finally, she actually does something. Yeah. The things that he's done for us right now, including getting us into the tree, helping us save Abner, like, he's trying to. Not all of his rights so far have kind of made up for his wrongs, but he's working on it. He's working on it. Give him a D, give him a passing grade, something. And none of this is going to stop us from actually fighting Caldina herself. She's not much of a different fight compared to when we fought her in the mine. Or in the Bewildering Cave, anyways. Might as well be called mine. She's actually missing an attack that she had in the Bewildering Cave, and then she's also upgraded her fan. What? Okay, don't know what that was all about. But I lost a lot of health. Oh! What the... Okay, still don't know what it's all about. Let's use my ice arrows. Actually use some ice arrows. I want to do some actual damage, please. But Fu is kind of the good thing in order to actually get rid of the fan in this case. Especially when you're moving around. When you've done enough damage to Caldina, she'll completely change the battlefield around. And make it, well, really annoying to fight on, really. It makes it so that you have very little room in order to actually maneuver and avoid everything. I'm not doing very well. I kind of don't want to lose anybody. Magic is kind of gonna be your go-to in terms of fighting here. I find, anyways. Sometimes I just unload, especially with Hikaru. Because her just kind of straight attack that she has is not gonna be much help. However, the reach from Umi, especially with her overall damage output, is going to be the deciding in order to actually do more damage. Now we have over this pretty much plank of very little space. We don't have a lot of places to go, but we've also taken enough damage to get to the final area. Because now she's in critical health because she's all red. Let's get Fu actually attacking a little bit more. Oh, the fan was... Okay, did not notice the fan at all. And... this is not helping. Who's gonna die eventually, and... I'm running out of magic fast. Get down, yes! She's like, ow, that hurt.
Caldina, you can join us, if you want.
Damn it, how is this possible?
Caldina, listen. We could become really great friends. I know there's good in you.
Oh my God! No! Did you see who did that?
It was him! Identify yourself!
I am the right hand of Sage Master Zagat, Enova.
Murderer! Why did you have to kill her?
Her time had run out. She had become a liability. Simple as that.
You bastard.
You'll pay!
How very delightful. I have witnessed the power of the Magic Knights.
He's alive?
Yes, and that's quite unfortunate for you.
Ascot, Caldina.
Nova. Now let's see what you're capable of, shall we? Yes, my lord. Consider it done.
Well, I made it out. Barely. Now we've finally met a Nova properly instead of, well, within castle cutscenes with Zagat. But Caldina and Ascot are no more. Which has helped Halcyon, I guess. Nowhere to go but forward, really. Nowhere to go but forward. It certainly takes a while before you hit that edge of where you're actually able to swim down there. But if you do fall off the waterfall again, you end up back in the cave. But luckily, you don't have to do the entire dungeon again. We will be coming back here eventually, but there is a nice, safe, quick teleporter all the way up to where the fountain is. And then from here, you can just kind of exit out again. Anything to... well, apparently not here. Apparently, Clef is nowhere to be found. Anything really to say, Clef? Yeah, we kind of lost two good possible allies. How are we going to deal with that? Well, maybe we'll find something past this waterfall and into the next village. But before we actually get on to the next village, next time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Looking back at Ascot and Caldina. Not in this version, but the Super Nintendo version. See you next time, everyone.